people? This is Javo here. Usually you don't see my face in videos. It's not one of those things where I'm afraid of it or anything. I just figure when videos start, you will see like intro video, a minute long, with music and stuff going off. And I like video channels where the video just starts and you get to what you want to see. Because I don't know about you, but whenever you have all these intros, I just skip ahead on the slide bar. I don't care. So I also don't edit my videos. So if I misspeak or I drop a magazine by accident, it's always on video. So what do we have here? We have a Mini-14. This is my beautiful, lovely lady. Fantastic firearm. I have an optic on here, which really isn't necessary, but I can see through this one, so I can use the iron sights as well. And it's a very good shooter without an optic, and it's good with an optic. Certainly would not want a scope on here, but some people do that. So if you do that, I'm not criticizing anything. It's all a matter of taste. There's no right or wrong answer. So this is the law enforcement model, which Ruger no longer makes. It's a 2011 that I found in a local shop, and obviously somebody did a trade-in. I saw this, I think it was $780, and I was like, yes, please. So I got this, and it is a 5812 series, if you want to look that up. It is a law enforcement LE, and has the GB designation, which is the government barrel, which simply means it is an 18.5-inch barrel with a bird cage. The commercial one that you would buy that is a tactical with the bird cage is a 16.2-inch barrel. It's shorter. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, but this is one that they had longer because some of them had a bayonet lug on them. You've seen those. So I could put that on here and it would facilitate the length for that if I so chose to, which I don't. But this stock is not the factory stock with it. And we're going to get to the Mini-30 in a second. Hang on, it's coming. And the reason why I put my wood stock on here is because the Mini-30 stainless has a wood stock. But this one came with a black polymer stock. This is what was on the patrol model. Very good stock. It is just a hair shorter than the wood one I have. And there we go with length of pull is different for everybody. So 1/4 inch can make a big difference. And a lot of people equate length of pull to whether or not somebody has long or short arms, but the truth of the matter is the length you have to the trigger and the length you have to your forend. Now I have a Maverick 88 shotgun that I was criticized for saying that the length of pull is too long, despite my being 6'4" with long arms and I can palm a basketball. And the reason being is I'm very thick-chested. I have an athletic body. So I have a slim waist and a very thick chest, and it adds that extra length that steals from my length of pull. It makes it longer, if that makes sense. Not by much, but enough to make a difference. And the way the corn cob is on the Maverick 88 when you pump it to shoot is further out than on other shotguns or close to it. It feels longer to me. So it feels like I'm reaching for the corn cob. So if I had a shorter stock, it would bring the corn cob closer to me. So it's difficult to say things like that online without making a 20-minute video on its own to explain what I'm talking about. And then I get the comments, well, you must be this, you must. Well, you know, great. Monday morning, couch quarterbacking works for everybody, but it's not practical in real life. But anyway, this is the patrol model stock, and this is the tactical Mini-14 stock, which you can decide how many rails to put on here or not. And also you can put a sling mount on here that'll screw in, or you can take it off like I have, or you can take all of this stuff off. One thing I do like about it is that rail that's on the top, because it's channeled so you can see your front sight from the back without an optic. And the only difference is you do have to screw that on there when you change the barrel guard. But other than that, it is a heavier piece of equipment. It makes the Mini-14 weigh more, but that's really good because I'm very accurate with it, because the extra weight is really good. Plinking at 100 yards is very easy with this. And so anyway, there's different stocks you can get. It's adjustable. And I added the butt pad that comes with it. Now this is made by ATI, I should say. It says ITA because it's backwards on my video screen. So that's one of those mistakes I'll leave in my video and not edit it out because I just look like an idiot. But that's okay. Anyway, these are about 15 bucks to $20, I believe, to put this rubber pad on here, which isn't really necessary for recoil because 223 556 with this doesn't really have much recoil at all. And the reason why I like this stock is it's foldable, collapsible, and you can shoot it like a old German machine gun. Remember those machine guns like that? Or you can shoot it like a pistol, which I have. It's pretty funny, but the recoil is okay, you know. So they also have one where the stock doesn't fold with this same style. And these are the same ones that Ruger puts on their rifles at the factory when you buy a tactical. So this is the same stock. There's no difference. So it's not an aftermarket. It's the one Ruger uses, if that makes sense. So I like to use all three stocks depending on my mood. And who doesn't want to do that? So now we're going to get into a fun rifle. Now this one is a stainless steel. It is the Mini-30. It's clear. And it's got a nice trigger like these have. Nice reset. And this is a really good shooter. It doesn't have the bird cage. It's not threaded. But this was also a good buy. This was one of those ones that was being looked for. And you never see these under $1,000. They're usually $1,100, $1,200, stainless steel. This wood stock came with it. And it's got a nice rubber butt pad. And it's the same stock that's on the Mini-14. And I say that, but there's a subtle difference, and that's the width in here. And like this, reason why I mention that is this ATI Strike Force you can put on a Mini-30, but you have to file with a flat file inside. There's directions on how to do that. You don't have to take very much off for this to transfer from a Mini-14 to a Mini-30. So they're pretty compatible if you don't mind doing a little filing, which isn't that severe. I've never done it, but I wouldn't be afraid to, I guess is my point. So anyway, this is the traditional rotating bolt design that everybody loves. You see that? Beautiful firearms, and they still have this stock rear sight that I don't mind it personally, and I found the best way to adjust this is obviously if you screw the ghost ring in, it's threaded, or if you unscrew it, you can raise it. Pretty self-explanatory. You have an Allen wrench nut here, and you have one on this side, on each side. So basically, if you're sighting this and you're shooting too far one way, you loosen one side, move your ghost ring over a little bit, and then tighten the other side, clamp it in place. Then you take your shots. So when you go to readjust it, you don't loosen both of these because you're never going to be able to adjust it properly. Just one at a time and increment over and then lock it. It's real easy. It's just sometimes people find it annoying, and but we usually just start out in the middle and just kind of increment one way or the other. And this one is like all the other. It's a good shooter. Now this is also one with the thicker barrel that Ruger did to eliminate when the barrel warms up and you get that barrel whipping, which some of the older models, the original ones, are pretty bad. Like just shooting 60 yards, you'll miss something by 4 feet once the barrel's hot and it's whipping around. That was a problem. But they don't do that anymore. These are fine. I've gone and shot, 150, 200 rounds and got the barrel really hot, and it's still accurate. 180 yards. 180 yards is the furthest we can shoot where we go. So anyway, this is the Mini-30. Got a good price on it. This was about $780 used on Gunbroker. It was a buy it now, and it was a buy it now, have it shipped to your FFL, and when you're looking for one of these and they're always over $1,000, and then you see one listed by a pawn shop, buying a used firearm is always a crapshoot, sight unseen. So I would recommend when you buy a used firearm, ask a lot of questions. There's good videos on YouTube about that, people that have gone through this. One of them is that channel for that guy, what's his last name? Spomer. He's got a guy on there that bought an old Winchester rifle from the 50s. He asked a lot of questions about it, but when he got it, he found out things like the stock had been modified, and he assumed that it was just a stock butt cover on it and it was normal, but then when he got it, it was shorter than it was supposed to be. Somebody had modified it. And there's things like that. You need to ask those questions when you buy something used. And the first one that's the most glaring is, why are you selling it? That's a big one. And how often did you use it? Now obviously that's going to be easy to lie, but after you get it, you'll know. So basically these guys were just honest. It was a pawn shop. Looks new. Guess it wasn't used very much. And you always take a chance on something. It's like, why wasn't it used very much? Is the barrel warped? Is there something really major with it? Is the chamber a lemon, where you're getting problems with the bolt not closing all the way, or the bolt locking after you fire, or the casing is getting stuck inside and won't eject? I mean, why did somebody pawn such a beautiful rifle and it's really never been used? It's obvious it's never been used. Now the serial number on the Ruger website, you can look up serial numbers on your Ruger firearms. It'll tell you the day, not the day, but it'll tell you what month it left the factory. This one left in, I think it was, I forgot what month, but it was 2022. September, I think. September 2022, this left the Ruger factory, and then in 2023 it ends up here. So it really wasn't fired very much, owned very long. Now if this was a 15-year-old rifle, and it hasn't been used, chances are there's probably something wrong with it, or the guy has way too much money and just bought it and never used it, which I suppose that could happen. Maybe somebody owns 8 of them and they just really just never shot this one. I'm sure there's people like that out there. So that's the thing with used firearms, but this one is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. It's wonderful. It shoots great. It even came with the original scope rings that belong on it. And so, you know, barrel guards, this is one of those things where I don't like this design. I don't like how it looks. I don't like this on the side here that comes out and covers the charging apparatus, technical term or non-technical term, but I don't like that. So I had that on my Mini-14. It came with one of those, but I don't like to use it. So what I do is there we go. This one really clamps on hard. What I like to do is, that is just on there for this piece here. Because when you're shooting, that reciprocates and it hits your fingers. If you're one of those people that hold it like this. But I'm not. I hold the rifle like this. So it's really a non-issue for me. And I don't know if that would cause injury or not. I have no idea. Maybe some rifles it would. I really don't feel like this one would. There's really nothing in here to catch your fingers or hands. Everything is, there's no sharp edges. There's nothing that feels like it would pull my skin inside it and cause a cut. But, you know, I understand some people don't like that. So, what's my solution to that? If I can find my piece I had, which now I'm not going to be able to. Oh, here it is. I put it over here. So this is an Aftermarket barrel guard. As you can see, there's a piece broken off the tip. And that's what people will tell you. Oh, don't buy that. It's a piece of junk. It's going to break on you. Yeah, probably true, but it was also very cheap. It didn't cost very much money at all. And, you know, I don't care about that because these are still here, and if those break off, well, I'll just replace it. Now, I've had this for a couple years now. It still functions. I've gotten my money's worth out of it. I have the original one, so it's really not a big deal. Anyway, just put this in here. And see, I like how that looks better. I don't like this being covered. Maybe I'm being a traditionalist. I just like to have that reciprocating like that when it fires. I don't know, maybe I'm just a weirdo. But I like how that looks better. So, as you can see, whether it's blued, black, or what have you, the Mini-14 and the Mini-30 are beautiful rifles. These are both exceptional. Whether you get the birdcage or just the ranch model, it doesn't have that. Doesn't really matter. It's a fun firearm. And, you know, it's one of those things that still people don't like these magazines, but these are Ruger metal magazines. They do cost more, but they function and you don't have to worry about it. And this is 7.62 by 39, pointed soft point, steel case ammo. These put on a really good show when you're shooting water jugs or watermelons. It's about the same as a 30-30, should add. ballistically, they're similar. And also, you know, a lot of people have problems. I have a video on this in my channel with the Mini-14 and magazines, and how people that are used to the AR style absolutely do not know how to do this properly. And they do, but they're so used to not doing it that when they shoot a Mini-14, they're like, oh man, I hate this magazine. I hate this. I hate this. I don't like the release. And why do they do it this way? Well, it's actually quite easy. When you're used to shooting these, it just rocks right in easy. And then it'll actually, I'm not going to drop the magazine so I don't bend the lip on it, but maybe I can catch it. There we go. See, you push that lever and the magazine falls right out. So if you're in a technical situation, you could drop your magazine just like you can with an AR. And putting one in is actually easier than doing an AK-47 magazine, which has the same principle of rocking it in when you put it in. So a lot of people really have a hard time with this, but when you shoot these often, it's really nothing. You know, it's just getting used to your firearm. So go out and get used to your firearm and you won't have that problem, I guess is what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video by saying thank you for watching, and I'm going to try to get a shooting video of the Mini-30 within the next few weeks. And stay tuned for that. So again, thank you very much for watching. And I usually don't wear glasses. These are reading glasses. Seeing long distance, like when I'm shooting, I don't use glasses. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Leave a comment, click like, subscribe, all that other mumbo jumbo. And I guess that's it. Until the next video, thank you very much for watching, and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.